Good, beautiful morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, September the 21st, and we have the fall solstice coming up today, which is a very powerful and positive day for cultivating higher energy in our lives, in our bodies, in our minds, and awakening our soul a little bit further. There are so many changes happening on the planet today that it gives everyone an opportunity to raise themselves to their highest possibilities or to stay in their lowest possibilities. The ascension energies, that is, these higher frequency energies that are coming into the planet, not the ones that scientists are measuring, the gamma rays and X-rays and cosmic rays. Those are one facet of that energy, but there are other energies additionally to that that are not being measured by science. And one of those energies allows us to elevate our consciousness up or to lower our consciousness down. There is nobody on this dimension, this physical dimension, that can escape the reality that energy is going to affect everybody in the dominant way that your mind and body are structured. So if your body and mind are in a really positive state, then this energy is going to fill that and feed that more. If your body and mind are predominantly in a negative state, then this energy will feed that. It's just energy. So really focus on, this is a time to really focus on grounding yourself in love and joy and in your purpose and in the meaning that gives your life value. Really important to do that. Today I have with me my guardian angel John, and he wanted to discuss the body and what's important about restoring the body and healing it and getting more in tune with its function. And what is the purpose for your body? What is the purpose for your body? Good morning, everybody. Hi, good to see you guys. Hello, Judy. Welcome. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Sunny. Hello, Gina, Drusilla, Marigold. Hi, everybody. This is a very powerful time. The whole planet is being affected by this. There's not one living organism on the planet that is not being affected by these energies that are coming into our planetary system, into our solar system, into our galactic system. You know, there's a universal center as equally as there is a galactic center, as there is a solar center like our sun. These are different levels of one and the same thing at different rates and frequencies of vibration, but they all interlock together like the gears of a fine swish watch, that all these things are working together simultaneously to produce a very altered experience of reality than the one we're most familiar with. And you'll notice as we see increased changes on Gaia's surface as Mother Earth goes through her evolution, because she's also going through an evolution. The planet is evolving. Everything is transforming. And it's very fascinating to watch this as we see it. And a lot of people are getting really anxious and afraid about what's going on. Do not be afraid. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to elevate your consciousness. If you were just a physical body, you wouldn't even know you were alive if you were just a physical body. But the physical body is an instrument that you're using. And it's an instrument much like a car or an airplane or a train. It's a vehicle that you use while moving through this condition of time and space. Please understand this, that you're moving through a medium of time and space in a vehicle you call your body. But that vehicle does not constitute who the driver is within it. That is you, the soul. The body is not who you are. It is the instrument of manifesting the phenomena of your consciousness through the mediums of your information in your mind and how it interacts with physical dimension of time and space. You're at a point now where you may deliberately and intentionally choose what vibrational energy you will reside in. And that vibrational energy that you reside in any given moment right now will be amplified to varying degrees according to the movements of energy that are coming into this planet all around you physiologically. But there are also these other realms of spiritual dimensions, invisible dimensions of information, wisdom, experience, and other beings of consciousness. Other beings of consciousness. The nature and quality of your awareness, the nature and quality of the thoughts and emotions that you harbor in your mind and in your consciousness will affect tremendously the consciousness of your physical expression. So, to restore your body to a state that is in alignment with who you truly are, it is time for you to begin to question and reevaluate the information that you think is who you are. It is time to reevaluate the information that you think is who you are. And only humans on this physical dimension have the capacity, that we can reveal at this time, have the capacity to deliberately and intentionally alter the nature and quality of your thoughts and the emotions that those thoughts will naturally stimulate as a functional energy generated through your body into the actions that you see every single human being performing on this planet. Follows that process of an ideation in the mind. That ideation in the invisible realm of the mind creates an electromagnetic charge that becomes an emotional energy that drives the functional actions of your body in the general sense. The more specific functions of your body, like your nerves and your organs and your glands, are generally under the automatic systems, that is, the unconscious preset systems in your biology, but which you may assume authority over as you begin to gain an awareness and an understanding of your role over the thoughts in your mind, thereby the emotions that move through your physical body. These emotions, in their nature and quality, will affect the vitality of different organs, nerves, and glands. The nature and quality of the emotional energies that your thoughts generate will alter and affect the conditions in your biology. Not to mention that the substances, that is, the things that you place into the body, can either accentuate or diminish the functionality of the body. That is, you can affect the functionality of your body from the physical dimension as well as from the dimension of thought and emotion, or you prefer to call energy. We prefer to call emotion energy in motion. How then do you begin a process of restoring yourself? Because we have witnessed there are so many of you that fully understand that you are doing things that you should not do, eating things you should not eat, thinking things you should not think, generating emotions that do not serve you. So many of you are doing this without the awareness that you are even doing it. You are simply reactionary based on the conditions already preset in your mind by your environmental conditioning. It is time you learn to step back from the way the world has taught you to look at yourself and to evaluate, how do I wish to view and see who I am as awareness? You have not even gotten to the place where you recognize that you are a soul, a consciousness, able to observe thought, and that you exist in a realm that is invisible to the physical dimension, except through the way in which your energy moves through that physical body, in which case you become perceptible through those expressions of your body. And many people say that that is you, but those are effects of your interaction with certain thoughts and emotional qualities that those thoughts generate. These all bear a direct relation onto the health of the body. The thoughts that you think, those things that you consume, or the things that you do not consume that you ought to consume. You understand that as awareness, you have a greater autonomy and authority over thought, a greater autonomy over emotion than you may presently believe, when you come to the understanding that you are an awareness that can observe an invisible realm of thought, that you are an awareness that can observe the invisible realm of emotion prior to its manifestation as behavior in the physical body. And that from the perspective of your awareness is the position in your consciousness where you can begin to actually make changes in your experiential reality. You can begin to make significant and real changes in the position of awareness versus the position of subjectivity to the thoughts and emotions that you currently hold within the system, most of which are not even yours, but all of which affect your experience of time and space in this physical dimension. And only from the perspective of awareness can you begin to effect deliberate and intentional changes. Deliberate and intentional changes in what you call your material experience. It is obvious and has been stated many times that thought is invisible. It is measurable by your scientific equipment only insofar as the electrical movement of energy as it passes from the etheric realms down into the physical brain structure. You can measure the energy as it moves into the brain structure and how it moves through the nervous system of the body. But this invisible realm of thought, prior to its moving into and interacting with the physical system, is invisible even to your sciences. If you understand this, then you make the next conclusion, which is, I am aware of my thoughts. And in that place of being aware of your thoughts, you can make modifications and changes from that perspective. But once a thought has come into the mind and is allowed to emotionally interact with the physical body, behavior tends to follow automatically. But at any point in that chain of cause and effect, you as awareness may say, wait a minute, this emotion that I'm feeling, if I allow it to go through this body, will cause this effect. Only from the perspective of awareness can you make changes. Your body and your emotional system cannot in and of themselves alter or change themselves, except to the degree and extent by which the instinctual innate mechanisms of the body will allow that process to happen. Quite simply, if the body is faced with a potential threat, it has built-in systems, you call it your genetics, that allows it to make adjustments. But the alteration intentionally of certain qualities of thought and the corresponding emotions will begin to produce an alteration in the conditions of your body. The very nature of being able to alter and change specific thoughts as an act of your awareness, deliberate and intentional, you then begin to assume an authority over the nature and quality of the energy that will begin to move through the nervous system, that body. And so to look in a mirror and look at yourself in a mirror physically and say, that is a beautiful being I see there, and to truly feel the vibrational intention of such a thought, to allow your body to feel that, to become aware of what your body feels when you give it that thought. When you give your body that thought, or you give your mind that thought, and you allow that energy to affect the body, and if you are aware enough to become conscious of the subtle and gradual shift in energy that begins to happen when you train the mind and body to repeat a specific line of thinking as an act of your intention, you'll begin to see changes happening in the state in which you feel yourself living in that physical body. The body is the instrument through which you express your awareness, your thoughts, and the corresponding emotions. And only from the perspective of being aware that you are aware of thought, not subjective to it. Your thoughts are not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. Your thoughts are a construction of information that allows certain events behaviorally and functionally to occur within the body and in the space around the body. That is, events and circumstances are generated by the nature and quality of the emotional energy that you stimulate in the body system through the mechanism of deliberate thinking. And we say deliberate thinking for good reason. For thinking must be deliberate. Thinking is not simply repeating thoughts or remembering things. That is not thinking at all. Thinking is deliberately being aware, examining, evaluating information and ideas in the mind, and choosing those which would be most useful in the process of creating your experiences. Very few of you understand that, but many of you have no choice but to awaken to that, for your suffering will get so great that you will seek relief from it. And you cannot escape the responsibility of being simply by discharging yourself from your body. You have a responsibility in learning the function of creation, and you can only learn the function of creation in this dimension by having a mind and a body which you learn to govern. And if you learn to govern the mind and body that you currently have, if you learn that process, that you can alter and change thought, emotion, and even alter the systems of memory so they will no longer impact you adversely. When you come to that awareness, you move from subjectivity to the conditions of your mind and body to the process of deliberately creating the conditions of your own life. Many of you have been deferring this responsibility to your leaders, deferring this responsibility to other people, hoping that someone or something else outside of yourself will pick up your cross and carry it for you. This will not happen. And when it has happened historically, it has simply resulted in disaster. For each man is his own creator, but within each of you is the capacity to assume the birthright of authority over your mind and your body. You simply have to reevaluate the information that the world has given you and recognize what information serves me that I should keep and what information does not serve me that I should not keep. Well, fear is not information you should keep in your mind. Anger, sadness, guilt, shame, these are not useful in the function of creation unless you are choosing a path of suffering. If you are choosing a path of suffering, then by all means you may indulge in your anger and your fear and your guilt and your shame. But they are not who you are. Your emotions are not who you are. They are the electromagnetic movement of energy generated by certain qualities of thoughts through your body, causing a condition that you call emotion, a feeling in your body, but it is not who you are. At the moment you alter and change the thoughts that generate specific emotions, and you sustain and maintain that change, then the energy through the body begins to modify and change. Suddenly you find conditions of anxiety and depression can be altered and changed and ameliorated as a direct result of your ability to interact with thoughts and emotions differently than what you've been conditioned to. Many of you have been taught to believe so far that even your emotions are something that you cannot alter and change. Please, for your own sake, understand that this is not true. You are in an authority position over your thoughts and emotions. And when you realize that, the degree and intensity of emotions may be greater or lesser from person to person, but the existing principle that you can alter and change emotional energy in your mind and body through a function of your awareness remains true. That even the functional action of telling your body to breathe slowly and deeply and repetitively, keeping it in a slow breathing state, can alter the way the emotional energy is flowing in your body. But what happens to many of you, you feel this intense anxiety or this intense depression, and you get so lost in it, and that you get found, you are stuck in that sensation, unaware that you can actually take a breath and open your body up and open yourself up. Direct the body to be more open and breathe and release with your breath the depression, the anxiety from it. And you stay in the process of deliberately, intentionally giving your body permission to release those old emotions. And if you are persistent, you will begin to feel result. You'll begin to feel sometimes little changes, sometimes vast changes. But your body then being relieved of such stresses that anxiety and depression produces upon the systems of the body, the relief from that is quite profound when you recognize you are the one capable of orchestrating it. But you will not be told this in your schools or educational systems, that you are not your thoughts, that you are not your body, that you are not your emotions, that these three elements are faculties that you utilize from the perspective of awareness in the function of learning how to create the conditions that you wish to flourish or diminish in your physical body. The body is the instrument through which emotion and thought expresses itself, but it is not who you are. The thoughts and the emotions are instruments that are not who you are, but which you have authority over. And once authority is assumed in this realm, then this realm begins to fall into alignment with the change in your awareness, now directing thought and orchestrating emotion deliberately. You will not be told that this is the truth, but many of you have been taught to believe that that body is you, that is all that you are, is that physical body, and that those thoughts and those emotions are all that you are. You've been led to believe that, and I say to you now, that is not true. You are a divine awareness, a soul, a spirit of universal light that is capable of changing, altering, restructuring, and organizing matter, time, and space into the fashion and purpose that best suits your experiential life here. Because you came here to experience the function of your being as creation, not simply to be subjective to the physical world, but to be proactive in transforming, transmuting, and changing it. There is not one of you in this dimension that cannot experience an emotion without also experiencing a corresponding behavior. All behavior is born from emotion. All emotion is born from thought. All thought is born from ideas. And you are the awareness that can be aware of the ideas. You can be aware of the thoughts. You can learn to transform and transmute emotional qualities, which in turn alter, transforms, and transmute the way in which your physiology will function. The very act of breathing slowly and deeply can create profound, powerful, and positive changes in your body, as can the process of learning to breathe quickly and rapidly under certain conditions provide a different function for your body than what was formerly discussed. Well, this process of restoring your body must be precipitated by the awareness, recognizing you can alter and change the thoughts, that you can alter and change the thoughts, that you are not subjective to your memories, you are not subjective to your emotions. They are all instruments for you to utilize in the function of creation, your function of creation. For every one of you came here to learn the function of creation, not to be subjective to the body or the mind or the emotions, but to understand the function you have as a creator, living in a condition of time, space, and matter, as an act of your will and your choice. You are here by choice. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Wonderful. Good morning. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Red Pill. Hello. Question from Red Pill. Can we reach a state of mode-like when we are in psychedelic through long meditation, and how to call to our angels through meditation? Great question, Red Pill. There's two sides to this question that this one is asked. The first one is, can we get to this place of achieving what you call a psychedelic state? We simply call it moving your awareness and altering the chemistry of your body so as to produce different perceptual capabilities into your experience. There is a specific gland in the physical brain that is designed for that function. It is called the pineal gland. And if you understand how to contract the pressures around the pineal gland, if you can use your breathing, which you can use your breathing, to tighten or apply pressure to the pineal gland and hold the breath for a period of about 5 or 6 seconds, and then release the breath and pay close attention to what you feel being released in the space in the middle of your head, to deliberately use your breath to activate the pineal gland. This is why all of your great mystics and masters and teachers and ascended ones always accentuate the process of breathing as being essential to liberation and enlightenment and freedom. So that process of the deliberately breathing can stimulate the pineal gland, which will allow you to experientiate these different realms of perceptual awareness that become available when you stimulate the electrochemical responses that will be conducive to those perceptual capabilities. Yes, so those perceptual capabilities also allow you to begin to tune into other beings on other dimensions, because now you're inside the consciousness, you're working with energy very differently. But the breathing technique I was shown was literally to fill your lungs completely and to actually squeeze and tighten everything and actually kind of force the blood a little bit up, put a bit of pressure in the head by tightening your lungs, and then holding that for like 5 to 6 seconds. Release it, and then just feel the sensations that begin to be released from the pineal gland, and then the chemistry that those sensations begin to stimulate in the biochemistry of the body. And do like 7 or 8 breaths like that in a quiet, undisturbed place, and just observe the phenomena. And yes, you can begin to connect to your guides, your angels. We go into great detail in that in our masterclass, which begins in November 5th, 2022. You can go to my website. I'll put a link up on the well, let's see here. Put this up here, right there. So if you want to know more about this, you can just check that out down the bottom. Our masterclass, which begins to introduce you to that process of breathing, the process of connecting to these other dimensions, the process of liberating yourself from old emotions, old thoughts that no longer assist you. This begins in our 101 course. You can go to my website and check that out. Thank you very much for that question, Red Pill. Question from Judy. I have had miraculous breakthrough. Who is around me right now in the spirit? Do they have helpful guidance for continuing up and beyond? John is saying to you, you must understand the fact that you are here with us right now is part of that process. Understand that birds of a feather flock together. So those around you are also with us likewise. Understand that each and every human soul has the capacity to perceive realms of information and consciousness beyond the 5 physical senses. There are other senses that you possess as awareness that you do not possess in biology. Your biology is based on the senses of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Your awareness is based on the senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairgustance. Your 5 non-physical senses must be developed. And in the process that we have put through this one in his program, you can learn these things, how to develop, awaken, and utilize these other senses that you have at your disposal that will give you full access to the other dimensional realms. But we're with you right now, as you already have told us. What would you seek? To rest in the energy of our presence. Be present with the energy, and let our energy reveal to you what needs to be revealed to you. What you are asking to be received at this time can be felt by you at this time. Simply feel our presence and let the vibration bring forth the thoughts and information into your awareness that vibration will allow. For certain vibrations will attract certain forms of thought and information and generate certain functions of emotion and behavior. But you can always alter and change what vibration you put your awareness to. You align yourself to fear, you will experience something very different than when you put your awareness on the vibration of love or joy or compassion or peace or kindness. Each frequency affords different information to be given to you. Wow. Thank you. Well, that's great, Chris. Chris has just got Chris here saying, I'll be serving humanity today during class. Enjoy class. Yeah, we have our we're in the middle of a program right now, and Chris is one of our students. Thanks, Chris. It's been wonderful having you. Question from Michael. Is there a practice I can use after experiencing an undesired thought to avoid having it again replaced with one of growth? Yes, hang on. Okay. So all thought exists. All thought across the entire spectrum, good thoughts, bad thoughts, they all exist. What determines what thought you will have or will not have is the vibrational energy that you keep your awareness in. That is the emotional quality which you can deliberately stimulate. Even through the act of telling your body to smile, you can stimulate a different energy in the physical system, which will in turn attract certain qualities of thought. But the thought that you are struggling with can be easily transformed and transmuted by altering and changing the emotional quality that's attached to them. Many of you get thoughts because of the emotion that you are holding, and many of you hold emotion from many lifetimes, and many of you hold emotion from your childhoods in this lifetime, emotions that you've forgotten you're even holding. and you do not know why you're feeling certain things at certain times in certain ways. But the emotion is simply energy. It cannot be created nor destroyed, but you can alter and change the vibrational frequency of any emotion. So if there is a thought that is displeasing to you, we would say, do not try to change the thought. That is repeatable, constant work, but change the emotional energy to the thought. And the way in which you interact with an emotional quality will determine the way in which that emotional quality will change. That is, if you're feeling frustrated and you try to get rid of your frustration, you will increase your frustration. If you're feeling frustration and you simply release and breathe and communicate kindness and acceptance to that frustration, it will diminish. As awareness, you can alter and change qualities of emotion and thought as a function of your will. And only from the perspective of awareness can you do this. You cannot do it from within the thought. You cannot do it from within the emotion. You must become aware of them and affect change them. The working of changing of thought has its benefits once you understand how to alter and change emotional energy. Emotional energy alters and changes the thoughts that will be permitted in your brain. If you're in a state of love, there are very specific things that you will think and say and do. If you're in a state of fear, there are very specific things that your mind will think and say and do. But when you are aware that you can alter and change any one of those, you are no longer subjective to those emotions or those thoughts, because the vibrational state that you establish will always determine the nature and quality of thoughts that you harbor in that physical structure at any point of time and space. Wow. Great question, Michael. Thank you so much. Question from Drusilla. Can you please assist me? I'm feeling such energy right now. I can't breathe. Overwhelming anxiety. This came from nowhere. Okay. Drusilla, can we have you just pause? Place your hands upon your lap and your feet flat upon the floor. Tilt your head slightly upwards and pull your shoulders back ever so slightly. And take a long, slow, deep breath and fill your lungs completely. Hold that breath for a moment. And as you release the breath, think the thought, thank you, thank you, thank you, even if I do not understand you. And do this breath 3 times in the same fashion. Fill your lungs completely. Hold the breath for a few seconds. And as you exhale, thank you, thank you, thank you, even if I do not understand you. And be mindful of what changes with each subsequent breath. You may go beyond 3 if you so choose, but you simply need to do it only as long as you require. It may be 1 breath, it may be 10, but if you stay with the process, you're again in the function of telling your body to breathe in a certain way. And in the function of thinking those thoughts in your mind, you are generating an energy. The words thank you constitute an energy. So that when you are breathing in this fashion and you exhale, the vibration of the words thank you, thank you, thank you, even if I do not understand you, this sequence of information offers acceptance and non-resistance for you. And please share with us your experience when you have completed the process. Others are equally affected and need to know this as well. Wonderful. Thank you, Drusilla. That's wonderful. Question from Moran. I have red dots all over my nose. What is the root cause and how can I help it disappear? Thank you. It's funny. I don't know, but somebody's telling me, I don't know who this is, but they're very feminine energy. They're telling me to tell you, don't be so nosy. That's just what I'm getting. They're saying, just don't be so nosy. There's something you're putting your nose into, business that you should not be putting your nose into, that you're putting your nose into. Stop it. And that will clear up pretty quickly. But that's what they're telling me. Don't be so nosy. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Moran. Question from Olena. My 7-year-old asks, were we anything before we were souls? It's funny. Beautiful question. You were all things. You were in the house of the one that made you as what you think you are today. You are love. You are fear. You are all things that exist. You are all of these things. Before you became separate, there was neither good nor evil, and you were in that place where all was well. But know this, that while you are here, let love be the choice that defines you. While you are here, let love be the choice that defines you. The feeling of love, which you already have. Your mind is not cluttered like so many others, dear one. And with a mind so clean and so quiet, yes, align yourself to love while you are here. Align yourself to love. I got somebody else in the background saying, you were of the divine. You were the divine in that state. You were the divine in that state. Wow, it's a great question for a 7-year-old. Thank you, Elena. Wow. Question from Nancy. Where do I go to meet like-minded people? You're here. Hi. Welcome, Nancy. We're really grateful to have you here. You're among like-minded people. And we're here live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, every week. So come join us here. Many of our students are here. We have other people that are coming here. Stay connected to the community this way. As for meeting people in your city and your place, just let us know, let people know what city you're in, just the city, not specifics, just the city you're in. And if anybody's got ideas about where in that city they know where there's a gathering of light workers or groups that get together and meditate and practice awakening, please leave your response there on the comment section. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll go to that. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, if you like what you've been experiencing and hearing today, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. For those of you that are on TikTok or Facebook, you can come to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/William Michael Forbes, and you can subscribe to my channel there, or subscribe to me on TikTok, or join the Facebook Soul Evolution group. That's another place you can go, Nancy. You can go to my group called Soul Evolution on Facebook. It'll be in the link in the description box below this video after it's loaded up on the site. This has been a really great day, guys. I'm going to take one more look, see if I missed anything here. Wonderful. Yeah, I think we're done today. 10:41. We are done. Yes. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful souls all over, thank you so much for coming out and experiencing this with us. And I want to thank my guardian angel, John, for being present, and whoever that other being was that was talking to Moran. Thank you so much for your presence here today. Please understand the 5 sensory world, the physical dimension. You know, many religions and philosophies teach you to be afraid of the non-physical realms, but you have nothing to fear about the non-physical realms if you're in a higher vibrational state. There are dark entities, there are light entities that are based in vibrational alignment. If you're living in a state of fear and anger and frustration all the time, you're going to be aligning to lower vibrational energies. If you're in a state of joy and positivity, you're going to start connecting to higher vibrational beings. That's just what happens. Birds of a feather flock together. Energy organizes itself. I want to wish you all much love. And again, if you want to come join our Mediumship Program November the 5th, I go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can register and get all the information about the courses and classes there. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day, and I will see you guys on Friday for our Q&A day. Just so those of you that are new, we have a live channel messages Monday, Wednesday, and then on Friday we have a Q&A exclusively for those who come to our live events, can ask any questions they want. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. Saturday we do our meditation, so hopefully we'll see you there. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day, everybody. Bye for now.